Chris Chamberlain here, guys, and we're back in the lab for another workout today. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel because we're going to be putting out 2 of these workouts every Monday and Friday for you guys. So today, we're going to get into this new work block, which is going to involve us focusing on rotational movement training a little bit more. So we're going to start this first work set out. You're going to need a pair of dumbbells and you're going to need an RMT club. We're going to be doing 3 exercises. We're going to be doing an overhead seesaw press, a floor sprinter's press, and then we're going to do a traveling drill driver with the RMT club. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to pick my dumbbells up here. I'm using 30s. You can use whatever weight you need to. We're going to take the dumbbells, we're going to place them at the shoulders, or what we'll call the rack position. Now, everything we've been doing here with the lab, we've been really focusing on how to incorporate our core into our lifting and our movements more often. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to press the bell over in one arm, and I'm going to go ahead and pull and load this opposite dumbbell into my right side body here, or that right side bend that we've been working on. From there, I'm going to use that and express that side bend to transition to the other side and actively pull this bell into the left side. You're also going to note that I'm shifting my weight. All of my weight is on my left side right now, and I'm going to draw and shift my weight into my right side. We're going to repeat this for about 8 reps each side. That weight shift can kind of turn into a little bit of a heel pivot as well. You'll note that. But outside of the press, I'm very actively just focusing on that cue of trying to pull into that side body and feel that nice weight transfer. Again, we're going to go about 8 reps each side here. I'm actively using that loading into that side bend to launch me up for the next press. We'll get 1 more each way. All right, awesome. So we got our 8, got our RMT movement. Again, that rotational movement training we've been talking about. It's this idea of moving from one side bend to the other side bend. So we'll move right on. We got our nice overhead press work there. We got this push focus today. We're gonna take it to the floor. We're gonna do sort of a modification of like a traditional floor press type movement that mimics a little more of like a sprinting look. All right, so we're setting up very similar to that overhead seesaw press like we just did. We're gonna start with one bell directly overhead. I've got the other in this nice side bend on this right side, and I'm gonna go ahead and go for those same 8 reps each side, where I'm gonna express that side bend to the other side and really feel like that full weight transfer over to my left side here, and we'll just alternate for 8 each side here. You'll notice I'm pulling that knee into the body, but I'm also sort of reaching the knee across the midline as I make these transitions. I like to get this extra rotation as I press up the dumbbell at the top where that thumb is sort of reaching down towards my toes. That gives me this full expression of rotation. Really gets me to fan my shoulder blades. Kind of helps me facilitate and keep this hollow position. All right, we're gonna go about 3 more, 2, and finish there, all right? So just wrapped up. Again, we call that sort of this like modified floor sprinter's press there. We're gonna get into 1 more drill for you with the RMT club. All right, we got these dumbbells out of the way. We're gonna go ahead and grab our RMT club now. We're gonna be performing something we call the traveling drill driver, all right? So the way we're gonna hold the RMT club here, if you're not familiar, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna take that index finger, we'll place it right on the club head at the top there. I have the handle sort of running along the forearm like so, and that's gonna give me a lot of control over the club, and it's gonna allow me to really work on this sort of spiral or this like drilling effect that we do with the club. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get started over here because again, we're gonna be moving about 5-ish yards. If you don't have that much space, no problem. You can always just turn around, come back, and sort of take smaller steps as you perform this. So got my hand position. I'm gonna get into a split stance. My left foot's in front. The club is in the right hand. I'm gonna load up at the right shoulder, and I'm gonna take a step with my left foot as I drive the club out aggressively, like I'm punching the club out and kind of unwinding it or screwing it in. And then I'm gonna come back and then step and throw it overhead. In, forward, in, up, in, forward, in, up. And I'm coordinating that nice step with every rep that I do. All right, we're traveling about 5 yards or so. with the right side, and then we're gonna go ahead and switch to that left side. So again, that grip, index fingers up the club head. I'm choking up it. I got that handle right along my arm that gives me a lot of control over the club so I can really focus on the power of the drive. I'm gonna set off to that left shoulder with that right leg in front. I'm gonna take that step and I'm drill driving forward. I want you to note that I'm rooting down into this right side bend here that's keeping me from getting thrown forward. I reset, throw it overhead. Reset, throw it forward, reset, overhead. Reset, forward. And I'm looking for that nice shift with every drill drive. So that shift of that club head is gonna get me moving faster than I typically could, all right? So we get about 5 yards with each side of the body with that. We had our overhead press, seesaw overhead press. We did our sprinters, floor presses. We hit our 5 yards each with the arm T-club on those drill drivers. I'm gonna have you guys do that for about 3 to 5 more sets, and we're gonna go ahead and get into some accessory work. All right, we're moving on, guys. We're gonna be getting into this tricep kickback, or this coiled tricep kickback, and we're gonna also be working on a kneeling windmill. So we are gonna still need one of these dumbbells that we were working with. You could potentially go a little lighter on this one if you have access to it. So let's go ahead and get right to this. So very similar to like a traditional tricep kickback. We're taking like a hip hinge here, and we're just trying to pump this dumbbell back. We wanna sort of start adding, again, this side bend principle, this core-driven movement, and we wanna start getting our movement closer to what looks like locomotion or walking. Okay, so what we're gonna do, holding this tricep in my right hand here, I'm gonna take a big step forward with my right foot. That's gonna help facilitate this nice weight shift or weight transfer, so all of my weight is forward. I'm gonna go ahead and get nice and low, getting into this nice coiled posture, as we call it, or again, this side bend. So I'm trying to get this right shoulder as close to my right hip as possible. I'm gonna sort of lock in the arm to the rib cage here, where I'm holding this tricep. This elbow's out in front. We call this a weaponized position. I look very much like a spear right now from the side. I'm gonna take this dumbbell and I'm just gonna kick it back like I normally would for a tricep extension. But again, the big difference here while I'm working those tries, I'm trying to root everything into this right lat right now. We're going for about 8 to 12 reps here. I'm trying to keep that intent forward. You'll notice I even almost kind of attack forward a little bit when I go to hit that tricep extension. I'm reaching forward, I'm moving forward as I'm applying all these locomotive principles. Get one more and boom. All right, about 8 to 12 there, all that weight on that front leg. So reset, we're gonna get left side now. I'm gonna go ahead and take that nice big step forward. I think that's really helpful in getting these weight transfers. We're gonna sink down. I'm gonna throw this right elbow in front. Again, look like a spear right now. I'm hugging this elbow into the side body, and I'm gonna go for that kickback. And you'll notice again, I'm sort of reaching my whole body forward as I sort of almost like rock into that tricep kickback. Again, we're really focused on trying to keep that left shoulder as close to that left hip as possible, and really trying to root all of this movement into this low lat on the left side, all right? So just finished our triceps kickbacks. We're gonna take it to the floor now. Again, using the same weight, we're gonna perform something called a kneeling windmill. So got my right leg in front. Again, sort of that idea of that weight shifting. So put that right leg in front. I have my weight forward. I'm gonna take the dumbbell. I'm gonna place it directly over the front leg. From there, I'm gonna sweep the back leg, and I'm gonna try to keep that heel sort of reaching off to that side of the room, all right? From there, I'm gonna reach this elbow down for the ground. This is the windmill portion of this, and I'm really trying to contract and feel this left side body as I reach down. We drive right back up, and we are going for 8 to 12 reps. This whole time, I'm trying to stay sort of contracted in that left side body. I'm not gonna feel that expression or that switch over to the right side. And the harder I reach down on that left side, the easier it is to support that weight overhead. We'll get one more, and we're gonna switch sides, all right? Get that nice weight shift, step forward with that leg. We're gonna sweep that back leg across, that heel sort of reaching for the back side of the room. Bell goes directly overhead, reaching that elbow down, and I'm staying locked in to this right side body now, okay? And we're going for that 8 to 12 reps here. right, great. Okay, so this one's a little easier. We only have two different exercises in this work block. Again, we're going for about 3 to 5 sets, 8 to 12 reps on each side of these moves. And again, we're trying to stay really locked in or coiled on one side as we do this. All right, guys, we're gonna get into the last little bit of this workout. This is our bilateral environment. We're not working on these side bends anymore. We're gonna educate sort of this center position now by doing some isometric postures. We're gonna be, I'm gonna be using a bench today. You could use a couch or a bed if you need to, but we're gonna be elevating the feet. If that's too difficult in this, you can absolutely just put the feet on the floor and mimic the same postures. So we're gonna start, we're gonna be doing like an elevated or inclined pike hold. We're gonna do that for 30 seconds and we're gonna immediately transition into an incline or declined push-up position, all right? Again, both for 30 seconds. We're gonna get in here, I got my timer. I'm just using my phone here, so it's right in my face. We're gonna park the feet up on the bench. We're gonna flip those heels out nice and wide. We're gonna lock the arms out aggressively. We're gonna start the clock and start going through the cues from there. So in this position, heels are wide, I'm tucking the chin, I'm tucking the pelvis, I'm squeezing the glutes aggressively, and I'm squeezing the abdomen or the obliques aggressively. And when I'm tucking that chin, I'm also trying to keep the neck really long and the whole back spine or the back side of the body very long and fanned. My shoulders should be fanned. They're not just packing in and scrunching in. I'm trying to fan the shoulders and create space so I can breathe comfortably. Again, we're holding about 30 seconds. We're gonna go about 5 more seconds. All right, and then what we're gonna do without coming down transition, so we're gonna walk out a little bit. Bring my clock with me. We're gonna lower down into a position, push-up position, and I'm really trying to keep the shoulders towards my hip as I do this. I'm flaring the heels out wide, and I'm purposely sort of like arching the back a little bit. I'm trying to engage the low lats. So I'm trying to funnel all of this work or load into my low lats. I'm still keeping that chin nice and tucked, that neck nice and long, and really emphasizing those hips trying to reach for the shoulders and the shoulders trying to reach for the hips. And that's funneling everything to those low lats. We'll go about 5 more seconds, and these should be nice and challenging. And that's it, good job. All right, so pop down. We do about 2 to 3 sets of these 30-second holds in each position. Again, if this is a little too hard, keeping the feet elevated, just park your feet on the floor, much easier, and you can always explore and change the times. Thanks for joining me for another great lab workout. If you have any questions, make sure you comment those below, hit the like button, and check out WeckMethod's Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook accounts.